rates the last few lessons. We move today to ratios. Once again, just a reminder of what we're talking about, rates and ratios. Both of them are comparisons of two quantities, but rates are a comparison of two quantities of different type. Ratios are a comparison of two quantities of the same type. Okay? So I'm going to run through a bunch of things. I'll put them up here on the board for myself just to kind of make sure that I cover off everything we need to cover off in this lesson. But there are a bunch of ways we want to work with ratios. We can change or modify ratios. We can divide a large quantity into its ratio components. So we're going to work through each of those things quickly. I would hope that most of this, again, going to go, oh yeah, I remember this. Even if you don't remember it all perfectly, that's fine. That's what we're doing again. But at least you go, oh yes, I remember when we have done this, and oh yeah, I'm good at this. I need a refresh on this. That's fine. So we're going to cover through all these things to make sure we've got all of it covered. So the first thing to mention is actually just constructing a ratio. How do we actually go about making a ratio? So if we were to talk about in a class of students, there are 12 boys and there are 9 girls. We can make a ratio of boys to girls in this class and it is as simple at first. It is as simple as just putting the numbers in that describe each of those quantities. So we set the ratio as being boys to girls, and so the boy number first and the girl number second, and that's what it is. Now there's more we can do with that, but that's just as simple as it is. That is a ratio. It's not as simple as it can be, as simplified as it can be, but it is a ratio. The other way that can be written is as a fraction. Okay? You can actually write ratios in both ways. This is by far the more common way, but you can write ratios in both ways. As a separated by a colon, like this, or as a fraction. And even though we don't often use the fraction, it's important to remember that is essentially what a ratio is. It is a fraction. It is showing two different parts, or two different quantities that relate to each other. And just as in fractions, the way to change ratios is by multiplying or dividing. Okay, and so when we come to look at this, we say, alright, what can we do to this ratio? And we may want to think about it the same way over here, but what can we do to this ratio to simplify it? What can I multiply or divide both numbers by to make it as simple as possible? So what are we talking about as simple as possible? We want them to be whole numbers and as small as possible. We're going to make them as small as possible and whole numbers, because sometimes we'll get a ratio that actually has decimals in here, and when we simplify it, we'll actually multiply by something to make them into whole numbers. Okay, sometimes we'll do that. And so we may well be multiplying and or dividing. Usually it's just dividing, but we may multiply as well. So this one here, what are we going to divide by? To simplify this, what number goes to both? 3. Okay, so we divide both by 3. And so that becomes 4 to 3. So in this class of 21 students, the ratio of boys to girls in its most simple form is 4 to 3. Okay? And so that's the first thing to be reminded of. When we simplify ratios, we are going to usually divide, sometimes multiply, but usually divide by the same number. Okay? What do we do to one side of the ratio? We do to the other. Just like in fractions, what do we do to the top of the fraction? We do to the bottom. Same thing. We must multiply and divide by the same number.